Alright, Spot Monkeys, welcome back to another TNA review. I'm proud to be a Spot Monkey, I hope you are too. Alright, so we now know that Rebel isn't with TNA anymore, and I think we could have seen this one coming, right? Yeah, Rebel, during my reviews, I did say that TNA letting her go would kind of be sad, and the reason for that is because maybe Rebel was trying so hard to get better and all of that, and TNA just about not giving her the spotlight or the chance to do so right before she gets released. So this is kind of sad because I did saw a video of her practicing trying to get better, but the thing is, it doesn't always work out the way you want it to be. So, and she always has been the weaker link, always kind of stale, boring in a way. I don't know if it's because of her character, because she was in the Menagerie, didn't really mean much. Dollhouse, same thing, she was always the weaker one. It's almost as if every character that was given to her, she couldn't pull it off. I guess some people just aren't good at acting, so it just doesn't work out. So her contract expired and TNA didn't extend it, so she's gone. But it's not like that it's a big loss or anything. So yeah, I don't want to say it doesn't really matter, but yeah, no big deal. Anyway, so the show opens up with Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, Brother Nero and Broken Matt, where last week, as you know, Abyss nailed him with Janice, so he was kind of bleeding, in a way, acting like he was dying or anything. So in this opening segment, we see Matt Hardy pushing Jeff Hardy on wheelchairs to the lake, and he tells where he sort of gives Jeff Hardy, he baptized him in a way into the water and all of that. But the funniest thing of all of this was the first time when Matt Hardy laid him in the water and he was praying, asking the deities to give him strength and all of that. The first time he laid him in the water and he pulled him back off, Jeff Hardy just fucking did a John Cena fucking he did a John Cena stunt. He was like, the champ is here, you can't see me, and then he takes a cigarette. I was like, what the fuck? That was really fucking funny. Even Matt Hardy was like, what the fuck is this? So he laid him back in the water because that is not the resurrection he needed. And then the second time he was back to broken Brother Nero. That was really fucking funny. I love these Brother Nero segments and all that. This has been what actually got a lot of people their attention. It's because of this broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero thing, to be honest with you. It really is. But so after that, the show starts with Lashley coming out, where we have JB in the ring interviewing him. So JB asked him if Lashley ruined the main event at Bound for Glory, because as you know what he did to EC3 last week. So while EC3 explained that, Lashley explained that Grado came out. So Lashley then says he doesn't know if fighting JB is a bigger joke or fighting Grado. That Grado says he's known JB for years and he's a bigger joke than Grado is. So Grado wants to prove to Lashley that he's not a joke, and then he says Lashley is World Heavyweight Champion but can also be beaten. So after saying that, Lashley then starts to attack him. And not long after that, so after he beat him, Lashley then says he can kill anyone in the entire roster and no one can beat him. So then Moose comes out. Moose gets in the ring, they have a stare down, and the two started to fight. So after the fight, Moose then says he wants to fight Lashley, and it doesn't matter if he's going to drag him all the way from the back into the ring. So that was the first segment. Moose is a lot better on the microphone in terms of his intensity and the way he talks, better than Bobby Lashley. Way better, Well, after that we had a little promo from Aaron Rex, where he basically just talks, says a few things and a message to Drew Galloway before his debut match. After that, we had another promo backstage where if Lashley is going to accept Moose's challenge, he says no because fighting Lashley is bad for Moose's health. Okay. And after that, we had the first match. It was a Grand Impact Champion match. Trevor Lee against Aaron Rex. Aaron Rex had both rounds. The first round he had more points, and the second round he was able to pin him. This was, well, it was an okay match for Aaron Rex to start. I mean, you don't want the guy to be doing all the amazing things right away, right? You gotta save something. You gotta save best for last or later. But it was a good match. It was an okay match. Good debut for Aaron Rex. Really good. After that, we had another Matt Hardy segment where he was looking for Vanguard 1, which he found Vanguard 1 that was stuck between a few branches in a tree. And then yet again he did this whole deity thing, asking them to basically give Vanguard his power. And then they showed where he was giving Vanguard power. She had all these special effects, these visual effects, which was really nice. And Vanguard 1 obviously came back to started working again, and then he sends him off to go find Senior Benjamin. That was another really funny segment. After that, we have an in-ring segment for Maria, where basically Maria wants to give Gail Kim an early Hall of Fame induction. So Gail Kim comes out while the two are exchanging words. This and that, Dixie Carter came out, which, by the way, Dixie Carter spoiled the whole thing by saying that Gail Kim is going to be at Bound for Glory. She spoiled it right there because she shouldn't have said that. She should have just said that Gail Kim is going to be in a gauntlet match. So right there, with that being spoiled, you already knew that Gail Kim was going to win this gauntlet match. So yeah, she fucked up there. I don't think a lot of people noticed that. Maybe some will, but she fucked up there. And I think she wasn't. I didn't think she meant to say that though. But anyways, doesn't really matter. After that, we had the exposed turnbuckle match between Sutter and Spud. During my reviews, I've been saying this for a lot of times that they need to start this feud between Sutter and Spud because it's going to be really good. And I thought this was a really good way for us to see, or for the people that aren't familiar with Braxton Sutter on the indies, but to see a lot more than from Sutter, to see that he can also be one of those guys, that can be aggressive and all of that. And we definitely got to see that in this match. Not a lot of wrestling moves were used, and the entire match, Braxton Sutter basically had the most upper hand. It gave Rockstar Spud one hell of a fucking beating. He even started to bleed out of his mouth. I don't know if that was real or he swallowed a pill, one of the pills that gives the color and anything, but it was awesome. This was really awesome. I hope it's not over. I'm guessing it's not over because I still want these two to have an actual feud, an actual build-up, which they did have in a way, but it wasn't really how it was meant to be actually. So I hope this isn't over yet. But it was a good match. It was good, really good. I think this is the first time that TNA did this too. I don't know if they've done it before. But after that, we had another Matt Hardy segment where Vanguard 1 basically is leading Matt Hardy to where Senior Benjamin was held, which looked like the same house that Bran and Rosemary were in. It looked like it, I don't know, but they found Senior Benjamin, and Matt tells Senior Benjamin to, prepare another battlefield, a battleground, but this one an even bigger war, because there is a great war coming, which is already set for Bound for Glory, by the way. I also like these new posters, these promo posters that TNA is doing now. They are really fucking nice. I love them. I want to know who the guy is that makes those posters and such. Just really fucking good editing. So after that, we had an in-ring segment with the Hardys, where the Hardys are in the ring. Matt Hardy says they were in an apocalyptic war with DK, and it's a war the entire world is speaking about. We survived, but so did DK. DK committed blasphemy against Senior Benjamin and attempted to abduct King Maxwell, and for that you must be sentenced to the darkness of deletion. And Bound for Glory, not only are we going to take the tag team titles from you, but I'll also delete you. A lot of deleting. Then Rosemary shows up. Rosemary says Maxwell deserves a family that is not broken. He deserves a family who he can embrace his true self, his true decay. And as far as our titles that you want so badly goes, you will never get your hands on them, because what we have, what we want, we keep it. It's why Bram is gone. He would not submit, he would not decay, so he had to be destroyed. Speaking of Bram, obviously Bram is going to come back, but how? So I'm guessing he's going to probably team up with the Hardys. I don't know. We have to see how this whole Bram thing continues, because it didn't really, it makes sense, but there's still something missing in this whole him being destroyed or whatever. So it's really interesting to see how they're gonna play that off. Anyways, but then Abyss shows, Abyss says these titles are beautiful and they belong to Decay. You will never experience the beauty of these tag team titles, which they have before. And then Crazy Steve appears. He says your obsession with our gold is mind-boggling. We offer you something so much more satisfying, your own destruction, your own decay. I think we forgot to leave this guy out of one of those guys that is also good on the microphone. Crazy Steve is really doing well with this character. Remember when he was in the Menagerie and he didn't really meant much, to be honest. Let's be honest here. But this is what he needed. He needed to be in this table. Okay, not him being a clown in the Menagerie. No, this is right for him, and you can definitely see this. So I'm so glad that they used him the right way. And as you can see, he is doing so fucking well. Ever since he started talking, they went with him being able to talk. He's really fucking good, man. I love it. Just love it. So long story short, Matt Hardy challenges Decay to the insanity of the Great War, and then Abyss says they accept, and later, not too long, they started to fight. There were a whole lot of twist of fates being given. Jeff Hardy gave Abyss a twist of fate, Robbie gave Rosemary a twist of fate, Matt Hardy did a twist of fate, and that's basically how it ended. But if you ask me, they should have kept this segment for the Go Home show. Honestly, you know, this would have been right for the Go Home show. It's if you ask me, this was a little bit too early, you know. But anyways, doesn't matter. Where am I? Alright, so after that we had a Knockouts Gauntlet match. The first one that came out was Jade, second one Laurel Vaness. Why the hell did they give Chelsea a name like that? Laura Vaness, Sienna, then you had Gil Kim coming out, Marty Bell, Raquel, and Madison Rayne. Not a lot of knockouts though. I don't know, does WWE has a lot more women, or does TNA? WWE definitely has a lot more women, right? Well, obviously they have a lot more money, so they can get a lot more people, but this is good. Not too much is also not good, you know. But anyways, the first one that got eliminated, let me see if I get this right, was Madison Rayne, who got eliminated by Laurel Vaness. The second one that got eliminated was Jade. Jade got eliminated by Marty Bell. The third one that got eliminated, let me see if I got this right. I'm so fucking confused. I think the third one that got eliminated was Marty Bell, I think, who got eliminated by Lauren Vess. The fourth one was Raquel. Raquel got eliminated by Sienna. And I think Laura Vaness, got eliminated by Gil Kim. And then you had Sienna and Gil Kim being the only two ones left, with Gil Kim winning, obviously. I thought this was a really great debut for Chelsea Green, Laura Vaness, because she did some actual wrestling and she was really good. Raquel was also good. Raquel, who by the way trains at the Team Fishing Dojo in Florida. It's a dojo that I plan on going to when I go to the US. Definitely gonna train there because you also have different wrestlers that visit that dojo and shows the youngster how it should be done or whatever. So Brittany has definitely been training Raquel really well. So yeah, Gail Kim wins it obviously, which makes Bound for Glory also predictable for Maria and Gail Kim because obviously Gail Kim is going to win it. But it's fine. They just want her to be tied with Angelina Love's title reign. So this time I'm gonna be okay with it and not bitch about it. But yeah, so after that we had another Grand Impact Champion match. Eddie Edwards and Mahabali Shera. Mahabali Shera's a lot better in this match than his other matches, to be honest. I just wish there was someone who trained him a lot better, you know, because obviously this guy needs a fucking manager, you know, because it's English. Because if it's English, you know, he can't really cut really well promos, and for that he needs a manager. But Eddie Edwards was the first one that had the most points. The second round, Shera had the most points, and at the third round, Eddie Edwards was able to pin him, or no, get a submission hold, and Eddie Edwards got the win. It was a good match. So after that, we had the main event. Well, not really a main event, but this whole thing with Moose and Bobby Lashley. So basically, Bobby Lashley did not give him a shot or accepted his challenge, but Bobby Lashley did offered him a match at Bound for Glory because, you know, EC3 being out of it. And then Moose said he accepts it but cannot wait, and then the two started to fight. While the two were fighting, Mike Bennett was involved. Mike Bennett and Moose, Lashley's attacking Moose. Not later after that, EC3 came out, and then he started fighting with Moose, with Lashley and Mike Bennett, and that's how the show ended. Good show. TNA has been doing really well, giving us meaningful storylines, good wrestling, hardcore shit, a lot of hardcore shit. The segments inside and outside Impact Wrestling. So what more do you want? I just hope they continue on doing so, because TNA has this curse or this stigma where when they're doing good, they're going bad, and then it takes a while for them to come back, but then they go bad again. I just hope they just keep it this way now that Billy kind of runs things. So that's about it. But there is one problem though, or at least I have a problem with this, or I think it's a problem, and that's the Bound for Glory. It's obviously going to be a really good show, no doubt, but at the same time, I think this is going to be too much of a predictable pay-per-view. And the reason why I say that is if you look at Lashley versus EC3, it's obvious that they're going to have EC3 win. The Hardys versus Decay, which I hope is going to have some actual wrestling, but it's obvious that the Hardys are going to win it. Gail Kim, Maria Kanellis, way too obvious that Maria is going to win it. Grand Impact Champion, obvious that it's going to end up being Drew Galloway against Aaron Rex, with probably Aaron Rex winning the title. So if you look at it, it's like all the good guys are gonna win, but I may be wrong, of course, so let's hope that is not the case. Alright, but that's about it. Thank you for watching, hopefully all the way till the end. I haven't said that in a while, because I also add that, you know, hopefully till the end, you know, because sometimes we have people that watch your reviews but they don't watch it all the way till the end, they just watch it afterwards, which is fine, because if I'm boring, then yeah, you probably don't want to watch or whatever. Or if I'm bad at this thing, since this is like the 5th month, because I started this channel like in April, I think, so it's 4 months, 5 months we're going now. So but for those who have watched, thank you very much, and I will see you next week.